PVpowerUP, serving photovoltaic contractors and integrators with practical information and answers.
All right, so here we are out in Dayton, Ohio, where construction has begun on a 1.1 megawatt ground-mounted solar system. Up to this point, we have all 1,500 posts inserted into the ground. We have begun construction on some of the racks. The next step is going to be to unload the solar panels. For this particular installation, we've chosen to use the Schletter racking system, which you can see behind me, the Sharp thin film solar module, which we have begun to unload right now, and Xantrax inverters, which will be installed in about a month. Some of the things that we'll be doing are readjusting some of the posts that have already been installed. They might have been installed in soggy conditions or didn't go in quite straight, so they're going to readjust those, put some concrete around it to make it solid. We're also going to see some racks actually being assembled, the panels being unloaded, testing for ground conductivity, and then also just a general overview of the rest of the site. So stick with us and enjoy the show. All right, so I'm here out on the site with Matt Owens, and we just tested for the ground conductivity. Matt, can you tell us a little bit how we did that?
Sure, we have an earth resistance meter here, and the path into the ground. These posts are sunk about 6 feet down into the earth, and with the tester you can see the test lead out. There's two probes out there. We have a far probe that's out about 100 feet, and then we had a second probe that we moved in 20 feet increments all the way back to the post. When you hit the test button, it gives you a resistance reading from the reference post out to the reference point in the field. And from that you can create a curve. It'll give you, again, the idea of the ground path to earth and basically how safe and how well grounded the area is.
It's a lot, and we're pretty good.
Yep, looks great.
All right, terrific. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
All right, so we're out here on the site at Dayton, and the first few pallets are beginning to come off the truck. And a good thing to do when receiving a large order like this for warranty purposes is to take the serial sheet out of the box, and here's the sheet, and it has the serial number, the cell ID for the top and bottom half of the order. And what we're going to do is JP's going to come over here and he's going to take a real nice photograph of this for our records. All right. And what this does now is we have all of the serial numbers to line up flash test data, the warranties of the products, and no matter what module goes out, if any, we can identify that module. All right, so we're out of the site here in Dayton, Ohio, again with Matt Owens, and Matt's going to tell us a little bit about the racking system we're using for this Megawatt. Matt, tell us a little bit about this.
Well, we're using a Schletter free field mounted racking system. The configuration we're using for the Sharp modules is going to be a 2x24 configuration. So we'll have two vertical modules in a portrait layout going across 12 across lengthwise. And the racking structure uses 4 main structural beams. You can see 1, 2 going down. And those are driven in place with a custom piece of equipment, basically a portable pile driver that Schletter designs and brings on site to install those posts. And it's a very cost-effective means of installing the posts as opposed to augering holes and setting those main posts in concrete.
Yeah, and one of the interesting things in solar installations, up until now, a lot of posts have been augered out and concreted into the ground. One of a few of the different problems with doing that is you have a gap in between when you can actually go in and start doing some of the actual physical mounting. You have to wait a week or possibly even longer due to the cold. And then another thing is the cost. The cost to actually dig out the hole and pour the concrete. It's actually costs about 3 times more to install a concrete post than the pile-driven post.
Yep. Schletter comes on site prior to the installation and does pull-out testing. to determine the embedment depth. And in this case, the post goes 6 feet below ground.
So right now we're in the middle of January, and some of the things to take into consideration in working in cold temperature like this, fortunately we don't have a lot of snow on the ground, so if we drop a bolt or something for the racking, that can easily be found. But when working with the solar modules, the cold temperature actually increases the voltage of the panel. So it's something to kind of keep in the back of your mind when you're making your electrical connections. Another thing, unfortunately, that we're dealing with out here is muddy conditions. The ground is freezing and thawing. We're getting a lot of rain and some snow, actually, so we have a lot of ruts that we're working around. But it'll all be nice and cleaned up and planted with some domestic prairie grass here in the spring.
We would like to thank our sponsor, Inovateus Solar, a turnkey integrator and distributor of PV modules, inverters, and all the additional equipment to install a state-of-the-art photovoltaic system. Visit Inovateus Solar at inovateus.solar.com to find a dealer, purchase PV equipment, inquire about dealerships, or speak with a salesperson about Inovateus Solar's turnkey services including feasibility studies, engineering, construction, and financing.